Is now a good time to buy a home? Should I buy now or wait until 2021? Are there good reasons to buy a home now? These are excellent questions, so let's dive right in. Hi, I'm Charlotte with Birch & Cedar Realty Group. Is now a good time to buy a home? Should I buy now or wait until 2021? Are there good reasons to buy now? These are excellent questions. I'm going to give you a few reasons why now might be a good time for you to buy a house. A lot has gone on in the beginning of 2020. It's kind of crazy to think about how much has changed in such a short period of time. Much of the nation is shut down in a stay-at-home directive, and there's a lot of people that are not only trying to work from home, but homeschool their kids at the same time. It's a lot. And on top of this, we have an unemployment rate at almost 20%. My heart goes out to every single person that is being affected by this. This is a very, very difficult time for all of us. In light of all of that, some people still have to move. It's a crazy time to be thinking about moving at all, but there are still situations where people need to move. So buyers are asking, is now a good time to buy a home? There is some fear that what is happening now, this health crisis, is actually going to cause a housing crisis. And what I can say is that experts have taken a look at past data, both for similar situations as well as the data that surrounds the Great Recession. And they say it's very different. Where we're at today is very different. I have a video with more detail and I'll link that here. But the bottom line is that experts do not believe that we are headed for a housing crash. We just aren't in the same situation as we were in 2008. Unfortunately, a lot of Americans may experience some hardship, but housing is situated in such a way that it might actually be what brings us out of this downturn once the health crisis is resolved. Aside from that, to determine if now is a good time to buy a home, there are a few things you need to consider. How has the coronavirus affected your life and your job? Do you anticipate being furloughed or laid off? And how about your hours? Do you think that they could be cut? These are all questions that lenders are asking. They're actually requiring buyers to sign affidavits to the fact they are still in good standing and that their financial situation isn't going to change. In fact, some are even having employers sign statements stating that the buyer's financial situation is going to remain stable. So if you're considering buying, just know that you're going to need to be able to sign that affidavit and probably have your employer back that up as well. We have some extremely low mortgage rates right now, so if your finances are in check, it might be an amazing opportunity for you to lock in a crazy low rate. If you already own a home and you're looking to upsize, now might be the opportunity for you because you might be able to get a larger home for the same monthly payment. If you aren't ready to move, but you own your own home and your interest rate is at 4% or above, you might want to reach out to your lender to talk about refinancing. With these crazy low rates, it might be an excellent opportunity for you. We are seeing that some loan applications are taking longer to close, and that's partly due to the overwhelming number of applications that lenders have received, but it's also due to the coronavirus. Staff have either been laid off or they're working from home. And then there's also the safety issue of doing appraisals for a loan. Even though it's taking longer to close loans and that some loan programs aren't available anymore, the loan rates are still quite low. And so it still might be a great time for you to buy a house. While some sellers have pulled their homes from the market, we are still seeing a consistent number come on the market each day. On this slide, you'll see the Ada County listings for one particular week in April. I took that week and I looked at it for 2020 as well as 2019. And you can see the comparisons here. They're fairly similar for most of the week. Thursday and Friday is where new listings really tend to go active, so it makes sense that you have a strong increase both in 2020 on those days as well as in 2019. This slide shows the total number of homes listed in April, both for 2019 and 2020. In 2019 we had 1,490 and in 2020 we had 1,206. That's a difference of 284 homes. That means that 19% less homes were put on the market in 2020 than in 2019. It's important to note here that we are heavily in COVID-19 right now. The stay-at-home order was in effect throughout the month of April. Real estate was deemed an essential service, so we were able to still provide services. And as you can see, sellers still needed to sell and listed their homes in April of 2020. As you saw in the previous slide, there were new homes consistently coming on the market each day. Now, based on news articles, you might have thought that the real estate market was at a standstill. But based on the data, you can clearly see that is not true. The chart that you're seeing here is from Showing Time. It's software that allows real estate agents to set up showings for listings. They partner with multiple listing services around the country. So not every MLS is represented on this chart, but it is a good indicator of what's happening across the country. From a national perspective, we saw an initial drop in showings in March, but we're seeing that climb back up. Now, this initial drop could be due to a reduced number of buyers, and that is probably part of it. But it's also likely that it was an initial shock to the system as to how to handle showing safely. It looks to be working itself out. All the participants in the home buying process are figuring out how to do their job virtually and making sure that they're doing it safely. There are homes on the market, and there are going to continually be new homes that come on the market, and they are being shown. But we are going to continue to struggle with low inventory levels, which will keep us firmly planted in the seller's market for now. Something similar can be said for buyers. There is a reduction of buyers on the market, and so those that are out there are highly motivated and highly qualified. There are no longer any looky-loos. Since the buyer pool is smaller, we might not see as many multiple offer situations, or the amount of buyers in a multiple offer situation will probably be lower, and that's a really good thing for you as a buyer. So far, so good. But you're probably wondering how we stay safe during this whole process. In the state of Idaho, real estate is considered essential. The steps that we go through to purchase a home are the same, but how we do it is different. We have procedures in place to protect you as a buyer as well as the seller as we go through the process. For example, we are doing virtual tours to limit the number of people that go through a home. Now, either the listing agent will provide a tour or I will go through with my 360 camera and capture a virtual tour for my clients. Now, this is something that I've been doing for my clients for about a year, and I have a video that I made a few months ago that talks about that, and I'll link that right here. Sometimes the video is enough to make an offer sight unseen, but if not, we can schedule an in-person showing and show the home with safety precautions put in place. So another step in the process is working with the inspector. Instead of meeting in person like we had in the past, we will actually do a phone call or a Zoom call to go over what was found in the report. In regards to closings, we have title companies around the valley that have offered a different number of solutions, from drive-up signings to completely virtual remote options. As you can see, we have procedures in place to move forward through the process and keep everybody as safe as possible. Did you know that every real estate transaction keeps 20 to 27 people employed? It's boosting the economy. Experts suggest that not only are we not in a housing crisis, the housing market is situated in such a way that it might actually be what brings us out of this economic slowdown once the health crisis is resolved. It all comes back to whether you as a buyer are in a good position to move forward. There are a lot of great reasons to buy a home right now, but only you can be the judge if now is the right time for you. I hope this was helpful. Like, subscribe, and click the little bell. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.